welcome back to my channel. My name is Cadence if you're new here, and this is my teaching/lifestyle channel. So this week I'm going to talk to you about sensory because I feel like that is a big thing or a big part of early childhood, or at least for what I do. So I'm going to start off by talking about what sensory is. So if we look at the actual definition, it's basically saying the sensation transmitted by our five senses. So like taste, smell, sight, hearing, and touch. Sometimes I don't always remember all of them, but that's basically what it is. So sensory play can be anything that stimulates those five senses. Now let's talk about why sensory is important, especially in early childhood. So first off, it supports language development. When you are working with different sensory activities or things like that, like for example, one of the ones I did, I can post a pic or show a picture of it. I put little penguins and froze them in ice cubes and then took different colors of watercolor and let the kids run those across paper. So they got to feel the cold of the ice. So we talked about cold ice. We talked about the penguins in the ice. We talked about the different colors. We talked about the water, was it melted, and things like that. So helping them learn those different words and have them talk to them about it and have them try to repeat it back to you. Things like that. Next, it can work well with fine and gross motor skills. So if you do some that are like sand or things like that, and they have little buckets or whatever and scoopers that they can scoop the sand or whatever into those buckets or those containers, that can be good for fine motor skills because they're learning how to basically manipulate all of that, or I guess manipulate all of the objects. So it can be really good for fine motor skills as well as gross motor skills because you can do larger things. So sensory doesn't always have to be small bucket play. It can also be something larger. So for example, like bubble wrap. If you do a large thing of bubble wrap and have them run and jump on it and listen to the different sounds and feel the feeling of it as it's popping underneath their feet, you're getting them to do more large gross motor skills where you can practice jumping, you can practice crawling, you can practice all of that with the bubble wrap. You can practice stomping. So yeah, so it's really good for that because it doesn't have to just be small bin tub play. It's good for problem solving, or if you go back into the sand play where they have the buckets or things like that and they can't figure out how to get it exactly in there, or if you could do ice play again where you have stuff frozen into the ice and they have to try to dig at it or get it out of the ice. Basically things like that, just things where they have to use their brains in trying to play or put things together. For example, another one would be cleaning farm animals. So you have a bunch of farm animals or toy animals and they're covered in dirt and stuff like that, so then they have to clean it themselves. So kind of working through that and figuring out how to do that, and also learning how to share, learning how to work well with others. So it can also be good for social interactions, learning how to play with friends. It kind of just helps them learn how to interact with other people and do things together. Sensory is very important, and there's lots of different ways you can do sensory. So two examples as the flashlight play. They really liked that one. That one was really good for gross motor, moving around, things like that. You know, just them really getting to see the light, showing them the shadows, showing them different things like that, so they really got that experience. And then we also did, we made smell good flowers. So we took essential oils, put it on cotton balls, and I had cut out flowers. And so I let the kids pick two essential oils, and they got to smell them, and then they got to put the essential oils onto their flower with the cotton ball. And once it was all done and dry and everything, they later got to go back and smell their flowers. So it was a fun thing because they got to pick what they wanted, and then they got to have the different sensory with the smell, the touch of the cotton balls, just different things like that. So sensory doesn't always have to be messy either. But yes, I do think that sensory is very important, and there are lots of different sensory activities that you can do, tons of different forms, ones that you can do with an individual child, ones you can do with groups of children, and I really do think that it's a fun thing, and I think that people should really look more into it. And if you guys would like sensory ideas or things like that, please leave any questions in the comments or anything you'd like me to talk about further. I will be honest, I am not an expert in all of this. I am just kind of talking about what I've learned and what I've experienced, and just kind of where I'm at with all of this and my opinions on all of this. So I just want you guys to know that, yeah, I'm not an expert, but I do hope that this helps and encourages you guys to explore more and get out there more with the activities that you do. And, you know, especially with young kids, the activities don't have to be pen to paper. They don't have to be fully structured. You still want structure, but you also want things where they can have a little bit more freedom and a little bit more flexibility and independence in their activities, because that's how they're going to learn, that's how they're going to grow, that's how they're going to learn to solve problems and interact with others. So I feel like that's really important and not something you can get from like structure. So that is my opinion on sensory, and I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more, please subscribe. If you guys have anything you'd like me to talk about, or you have any questions or comments or anything, please leave them. I would love to hear them. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.